Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're reviewing this video, welcome to BAM episode 3, where we're talking about business, Bible, and money. And this week, we're bringing to you short videos with some very hot money tips from the Bible to help you make, manage, and multiply money. So if you're catching this on the replay, go ahead and type hashtag replay in the comments. And if this information is valuable to you, share it out with your sisters and invite them to our Smart Money Sisters group. And for those of you who don't know who I am, hello, hello, hello. I am Tisha D. Colston, a Smart Money Sister, financial influencer, and coach for women. I show women how to partner with God in order to achieve financial freedom so that you can create a life that you love to live. So I facilitate growth naturally and spiritually around money. That's right, MONEY, tearing down the strongholds and the giving you the tools and the resources and the strategies that you need in order to make, manage, and multiply money. So you can find me on the web at tishadcolson.com. Keep coming back every week for our new blog content. All of my social media, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just do a search for Tisha D. Colston. So let's get into today's BAM topic. Do Christians really need to budget? Should we budget? Listen, when you think about the Bible, most people don't think about the hot tips. You don't think about hot tips about money. You don't think about hot tips about money management. Most people, you really think about, financial coaches like myself, like Dave Ramsey, maybe Robert Kiyosaki, Susie Orman. But the book called the Bible, we don't necessarily really consider, except for not to love money, right? Okay. But the Bible holds some other and very important keys when it comes to living in and maintaining and achieving financial freedom. And I believe that when you follow the Bible, you will have good financial success. So today's topic: do Christians really need to budget? Let's take a look at the scripture, Luke 14:28 through 30. And it reads, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, this person began to build and wasn't able to. Now, if that scripture is not a key principle scripture for budgeting, then I don't know what else to tell you or what else it is. But let's just kind of like dissect it just a little bit, right? Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. So the first question is, well, what is the tower? How can we apply this in our lives, right? What is my tower? What is your tower? And I can think of tower as being a number of different things in a number of different ways. It could be just your life in general, right? It could be just your financial future in general. It could be your whole life. It could be a particular goal you're trying to reach, like building a home, purchasing a car. It could be, what is your tower? It's kind of like totally up to you. But it is something that is significant and is a great impact in your life, or it is your life, right? So it's something that you need, that you must have. So let's say that your tower is your personal finances, and you need to actually consider the costs first. So should we as Christians budget? Oh, yes, we should. But those costs aren't always seen at first look. So you need to plan for them. You need to write them out, aka budget. So some of the major expenses that we have, like rent and utilities, those only are due once a month, right? Like your home or your car insurance premiums, maybe they're only due every 6 months. Maybe your property tax is only due twice a year. And then you have other things that are due once a year. Planning ahead and saving for those expenses is the key part of budgeting. Because you may only get paid weekly, you may get paid bi-weekly. Sometimes people get paid once a month. But most cases it's weekly or bi-weekly. but your rent is due every month. But your bills are due every single month. So you don't want to wait until you get to that last paycheck to realize that there is not enough money in your check to cover those expenses. Now, this might seem elementary, especially if you're my age. You're like, well, duh. But if it was so elementary, sisters, then so many of my sisters would not be in debt. We would be financially free. Okay? So it's not as elementary as it sounds. And it's because we fail in the area of counting up the costs. We make purchases not considering that when we take one purchase, it takes out of the bucket of something else that was key that would impact our finances. For example, so let me just give you a little brief example. Like, let's suppose you make $600 this week, and out of that $600, you spend $100 on groceries, $40 on gas, $80 because you need to pay that light bill that came in that was due this week. So now you're thinking, I've covered all my expenses. I don't have any more bills for this week. I've got $380 left. I am free to spend it how I want to spend it. So we may not say that, and we may know that there are other expenses coming down the pike, but that's how we treat our money. And so then we get on Amazon.com, and then we go to the store. Maybe throughout the week we spend more money at the grocery store because, sometimes you can't just go in there and spend $10 to get that one item, right? It's a little joke how, you go in there and you come and get one thing and you come out with 20 things, okay? So if you do that every month, if you do that every paycheck rather, then you're going to be in a bind when your rent is due at the first of the month. You're going to be in what I would call a situation. So you've got $1,200 rent due, but you only got that $380 because you spent the other, or maybe you got the whole $600. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. You got the whole $600 because you've been getting $6 every week. You got the whole $600 that's left to pay your rent. Or maybe, you got paid every 2 weeks, and so you had the $1,200 to pay your rent. But that's all you have. So now what? How do we actually budget our money this way? Because not many of us do it exactly the way where, we just take the $380 and we just spend it. We recognize that we do have responsibilities that are coming down the pipe. But what we do so much and so very often is we spend more than we need to. So when it comes to that $1,200 rent, you don't have enough money for it, or you only have enough for it. And then you're struggling to pay the gas in your car, to put food on the table, because we didn't plan throughout the month on how we would meet all of our living expenses, all of our needs, right? So we create this, what I call unnecessary stress. It's stressful. If you have to get up and go to work and you don't have gas in your car, right? Now you got to figure it out. You have to pay your rent. Or you'll be late on your rent so you can put $40 worth of gas in your car when you had $40 3 paychecks ago, okay? So it's unnecessary stress that we create when we don't manage our money, count up the costs that it takes to build the tower, to maintain the tower, I would add as well. So if you sit down with a piece of pen and a pen and a piece of paper, or you can use one of my budget books, or you can use a computer programming software like Mint.com. I think even Dave Ramsey has a software. Your banks have software that you can figure out exactly which expenses you have to cover. Like, you have to cover these expenses, not just in the immediate future, but also in the long term. I worked for mortgage industry for a long time. I've worked in a few, anyway. So recently, my last place of employment was with a bank, and we service loans. And what you will find with people is that they will get into this situation when it comes to their taxes because they didn't plan throughout the month. This is why the banks make you escrow the taxes now because they take it out every single month. What you should be able to do is what they will do for you. And this is how we want to manage our finances. But we have to get it out of our heads and we have to get it down on paper in order to be effective in your finances. When you do that, then you'll know how much money you need to set aside to cover all of your financial needs, from paying your mortgage or your rent to your weekly grocery bills to your weekly gas bills to financing your retirement years, because you can then now begin to think far past immediacy and also look ahead towards the future. And this is the way that you can make sure that your tower, your personal finances, can be completed from top to bottom, bottom to top, so that no one looks at you as a Christian and say, they weren't able to build that house, that tower, right? So should we as Christians budget? That's a resounding yes. If we apply this scripture as this biblical principle in our lives, then we will be well on our way to good financial success. So the question is, would you commit to creating a spending plan today to count up the costs of your tower? It's only going to work in your benefit, and it's going to make you more money aware, I like to call it. I started using this term because I kept hearing when I moved out to North Carolina, I kept hearing the statement, weather aware. But we need to become more financially aware, more money aware of what's coming in and what's going out, and sitting down and counting up all of our costs. Now, if you need help with that, I got this new cute little budget book out. It's going to help all my bougie smart money sisters because it's bougie on a budget. Because I don't know about you, but I like to be bougie. Some people look at that statement bougie as like it's a bad thing, but if you really go look it up, it's a short word for a French word that I cannot pronounce, but it means middle class. So we want to maintain a certain lifestyle, but we do need to do that. We don't have to do without. We just need to plan it out. We just need to plan it out. Maybe when you plan it out, then you will find that, oh, okay, I want to live this way and I like to do these things. So I have this amount of money coming in and this takes care of this. So in order for me to have new hair every week, get my nails done every week, instead of taking from my rent, my gas, my food, because I can just get those later, maybe I'll come up with an extra side hustle so that I can do those things. Maybe it will push me to actually get a better job, or I should say a higher paying job. Those can give you a different goal in order to reach. Because let's face it, sis, we like to be bougie, but let's be bougie for real. Let's not be pretend bougie. Let's count up the costs. So if you want to order my Bougie on a Budget book or any of my other budget books, because that's just one of them, but I have other budget books, just go to TishaDColston.com and then go to the shop button at the top of the page. Now, if you found this information valuable, I want you to share it out with your sisters and invite them to join my Smart Money Sisters Facebook group, because here's where we partner with God to achieve true financial freedom. So that's it for today on today's BAM episode 3. Until we meet again, the Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. The Lord turn his face towards you